Let's go work the horses. This is the tack room where all my gear stays. Whiskey's 10.5 months old now, and I've been working with a really great friend who's an excellent natural horseman. Doing lots of groundwork with Whiskey at this point, getting him used to lots of different situations, getting him responsive, yielding to us, and basically just it's all the building blocks and the groundwork for what he'll need in a couple of years' time when it's time to start training him and riding him. So all the groundwork that we do now sets him up for a really good couple of years when it's time to break him in, if you like. Hello, Whiskey. Good morning. Are you ready to work? Hello, mate. Hello, mate. Oh, what? I know those mozzies are annoying. I know. Whiskey is my first colt. He's now a gelding out of my beautiful mare, Becky. He's a full appaloosa, and we bred him out of my mare, Becky, and my good friend Wade's stallion, Charlie. And a really gorgeous horse. We're really happy with his conformation and his temperament, and there's going to be lots of years of adventures yet to come with him. Just putting the halter on him at the moment. He's a very busy boy. He always likes to have something in his mouth. Destructo is his nickname. But once we get the halter on, then it's time to work, and his job is to pay attention to me. And it's time to work, boy. So I'm just going to send him off in a few circles and see where his head's at, and get him listening so that he doesn't charge through the gate like a madman.
Feels like I've known you my whole life, but nothing more than friends this whole time. Summertime skipping rocks so innocent. I never thought I'd ever hold your hand, but there's something in the sunset feels different this time.
I'm trying to get all the grass seeds out of him at the moment, but also grooming is part of our routine, and sometimes it might be brushing out winter coat or mud or whatever, and it's just getting him used to being rubbed and touched all over and not afraid of any sort of contact. It's all part of desensitizing him. It's good practice with a young horse to get them used to being tied up and patiently waiting, because there might be times when he's tied up while I work Becky and he has to wait for his turn, or you're out on a big ride and you stop for lunch and they have to be tied to a tree and wait for the next part of the day. Appaloosas generally don't have much mane and tail, can be quite sparse. So Becky, my mare, she doesn't have very much mane at all. It's quite short and thin, whereas Whiskey's dad had a big thick mane, and he's lucky to have inherited that. So today we're going to work on the exercises that we've been taught by our friend Wade. Groundwork, which works on boundaries and respect and getting him to yield to pressure. We don't gotta stay friends forever. We can start a whole new chapter. Find our happy ever after. The only way to know is ask her. Yeah, babe. We don't gotta stay friends forever. We can cross that line together. Find love, baby, never say never. After all this time, I just wanna take a step in a new direction. I wanna tell you what I feel to mention. So at the moment I'm waiting for 2 eyes, 2 ears on me. before I send him off and ask him to do something. He's distracted by the flies and mozzies, but we've got to work through that. Having Becky out there is a little bit of a distraction for him, but we've got to work through that as well. He needs to be listening to me, not to her. She's come up to see what we're doing, and initially he'll be quite distracted by that. So we've got to make sure that he's listening to me and I've got his attention. I'm the one that's his leader now. So his focus keeps turning to her as he comes around this side of the arena. His ears and his eyes, so we've got to get his attention back on us. So I'm going to disengage his hindquarters. He needs to know to keep his butt away from me. If I can see it, I can touch it. Because there's a lot of power in those hindquarters. So when you disengage them, you take away that power. Thank you. So here we're asking for a change of direction by asking him to yield his forequarters instead of the hindquarters. He's still sucking towards Becky on the fence there. He's going to lick and chew in a minute. Maybe, there we go. That's him processing the lesson that we've done and realizing that the reward comes when I stop doing what I'm doing. And that's when he knows he's done the right thing. So practicing having him flex his head and neck to the lightest of pressure, lift, pick up the lead, just a gentle, slowly closing my forefingers around the rope. And then we can do the same on the other side, but from this side. With horses, every lesson that you do, you have to teach from both sides. You can't assume that once you've taught them something from the left side that they'll know how to do it from the right. It's two different sides of their brain. So first the forequarters step across and the hindquarters step across. And then we want him to come with energy towards me. We haven't quite got that yet. So I'm going to grab our rope, grab a bunch of hair, jump up and down beside him, move my arms around, get him used to someone making big movements above his head, then give him a rub. We do desensitizing with all sorts of objects. Sometimes we might work with tarps because they're a bit scary. They rattle in the wind, they make noises. Sometimes we might work with a plastic shopping bag taped to the end of a stick, flapping around. So when you're riding along and something moves out of the corner of their eye or a big leaf blows, their first instinct isn't to run. I'm not riding my horse, I'm just desensitizing him to me being up here on top of him, to my weight. So in another couple of years, when it's time to start riding him, me being up here is not big and scary. It's just another part of the lesson. You can see he's not phased. So we're just practicing him flexing his head to me. He's nibbling on my jeans and the rope. And swing the rope over the other side. Do this side. That's it. So we finish our session by lying him down. That's his reward for hard work. And to have a horse lie down for you is a really vulnerable position to put themselves in. So there's a lot of trust required. Just move back into the arena a bit.
Feels like I've known you my whole life, but nothing more than friends this whole time. Summertime skipping rocks so innocent. I never thought I'd ever hold your hand, but there's something in the sunset feels different this time. There's a feeling, if you feel it, baby, I don't wanna hide. We don't gotta stay friends forever. We can cross that line together. Find love, baby, never say never.
I'm by no means an expert in horsemanship, and there's a lot of learning as we go, but I'm learning while he's learning, and I'm really happy with how he's going and coming along. And every couple of weeks I have another session with my friend Wade to bring me up to speed and work on progressing him as well. If you'd like more content on hobby farming, tree changes, or life on the land in Australia, hit like, leave a comment, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.